Welcome back, wrestling fans, to the Elks Lodge in Barre, Vermont, as Green Mountain Wrestling's WinterSlam continues. Peter DeLonge with you on the call, and right now, coming out of the ring, another Green Mountain Wrestling debut. The Most Smashin Player, Pryce, coming out of Port Jervis, New York, by way of Reno, Nevada. Pryce is brash, young, cocky, and confident. So much so that he believes he will be the one to break the streak. This kid has done a whole lot in his 2 years in the business, but wasn't enough to justify him thinking that he can actually succeed in this gigantic task. We're about to find out right now. And here comes one of the most dangerous men on the planet. Tatum, the last street fighter. I once saw this guy win an arm wrestling contest with both arms tied behind his back. Tatum is on a streak like you've never seen. Since day one, Tatum has been throwing hands with anyone who is confident or stupid enough to stand against him across the ring. And every one of those individuals have fallen victim to the last street fight. Pryce thinks he's got what it takes to knock him down a peg. But by the looks of it, Tatum has seen guys like Pryce come and go a million times, and Tatum's still here standing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this next contest is scheduled for one fall. It is brought to us by our tag team partner, Martial Arts in Hardwick. Introducing first in this corner, from Reno, Nevada, weighing in at 185 pounds, the Most Smashin Player, Pryce.
Look at him, doesn't have a care in the world. Not worried one bit.
And introducing his opponent in this corner, coming from Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York, weighing in at 255 pounds of disrespect. He is your girlfriend's favorite street fighter.
Yup.
He is your sister's favorite street fighter.
Oh yeah.
And most importantly, he is your mother's favorite street fighter.
Can confirm. Last time I said that my mother does not know about Tatum, and if she did, she would love him. She has since discovered Tatum and is absolutely enthralled with him. Gotta make sure that we give a shout out to our tag team partner for this matchup, Martial Arts in Hardwick. Thank you so much for supporting Green Mountain Wrestling, offering jiu-jitsu and karate instruction in the Hardwick and surrounding areas from ages 4 to 15. Make sure to check them out and toughen yourself up. Maybe become street smart like Tatum right here. I'm gonna have to see if Tatum was taught at Martial Arts in Hardwick when he was younger. That could be the connection here. Regardless, thank you very much, Martial Arts in Hardwick, for supporting Green Mountain Wrestling. And Pryce picking a fight with crowd members, he needs to focus. This is not a lighthearted wrestling match here. Pryce is going to be put to the test. Credit where it's due, Pryce has been on a meteoric rise. I've got to call this young man's action in Pennsylvania quite a bit, and he has an incredible amount of ability, tons of potential, but his head on his shoulders gets a little too big at times, and I fear that he may have bitten off a little more than he can chew. And I'm thinking maybe he knows that. Judging by the actions that I'm seeing, I think maybe Pryce feels that way as well. Those children want nothing to do with Pryce. Tell him, kid. Tatum incredibly angry, wants to get this on, doesn't want to wait for a fight. Now Pryce officially in here, looking for a Greco-Roman knuckle lock, a test of strength, if you will. Against the last Street Fighter, I don't know. B.A. Tatum won a staring contest against the Sun. I don't know if this is going to be smart. And look at the breathing pattern on Pryce. Tatum knew it was next. He wasn't going for a third time. He just got a shot right to the jaw. And Ricky Pryce is on the outside.
Shut up!
Ricky Pryce heading to the side. The last Street Fighter giving chase. And now Ricky Pryce begging for mercy. He just went for the throat. Caught B.A. Tatum right in the throat there. But Pryce getting a shot right back to the jaw. Face first into the canvas. And Pryce is an incredible in-ring performer. Very well rounded in that ring. But I don't know if he's ever been tested as a brawler. I don't know if he's ever circled the ring and then beaten up amongst the crowd like this. Oh, come on! Are you kidding me? Somebody get security in here. That kill's about to break his own fist of the sternum of Ricky Pryce. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. He stopped just in time. B.A. Tatum saw what was coming, stomped his hand. I think he saw Skyros break his knuckles on that same ring post and thought better of it. But Ricky Pryce grabbed the arm and brought him shoulder first into that ring post. And now Pryce goes to work. Tatum in a position that he is not used to being in right now. Offered up B.A. Tatum's hand for a high five for that fan in the front row. Gold Circle ticket holders getting their money's worth here today at the Barre Elks. Crowd solely behind B.A. Tatum, a crowd favorite anywhere he goes. And Pryce going to town here, breaking the count now, allowing it to continue on Tatum. Count at 9, and Pryce was so close to getting a count-out victory, breaking the streak on B.A. Tatum. But it wasn't meant to be. But kudos to Pryce for bringing it right back to him. Relentless now. Pryce sensing blood in the water. Setting up the arm, going right for the shoulder. You gotta admit, Pryce may be outmatched here, but he came in with a plan, and he's executing it to perfection. Oh, well, this doesn't hurt. It's just disrespectful and embarrassing. This is not going to fare well for Ricky Pryce if he allows Tatum to get back up to his feet. Big bulldog right in the middle. And Barry, Vermont is not used to seeing B.A. Tatum in this position. Back to the arm now. Ricky Pryce in an advantageous position here. Trying to take that arm home with him. The gigantic tree-like arm of B.A. Tatum. His muscles have muscles, folks. Pryce letting go just to talk trash to the kid that hit him on the outside. I don't know if that's smart. He had him in a good spot. Should have kept on it. Jacking his shoulder up over that top rope, and now Pryce has a chair. Pryce has a chair. Pryce can do some serious damage here. Referee getting in there, making sure that doesn't happen. That's gonna disqualify him if it happens. What the hell does he have? He just went into his trunks. Those knucks? What? He just threw knucks to B.A. Tatum. He's not gonna. B.A. Tatum does not need knucks. Referee's for that. Wait a minute. Quick roll up by Pryce. Brilliant maneuvering by Pryce. He almost had him, but now you've made the last Street Fighter mad. What a shot! Right to the neck, right to the throat, the jaw, the chest of Ricky Pryce. Battering the young man. Picking him up. Side slam. Tatum is on fire. Coming across. Bronco Buster. He just asked who wants to see his chest hair. I gotta admit, I was skeptical at first, but now I need to see it. Oh no! Ricky Pryce hopping on top of B.A. Tatum. Shades of the Dread Pirate Roberts trying to put physics to sleep. Not very sportsmanlike. Tatum down to one knee. Pryce squeezing. Trying to squeeze the life out of the last Street Fighter here. Arm goes down twice. No! He's still in there. Pulls him up, backpack position, flips him over. Ricky Pryce is on his back. He's in the danger zone. Needs to be careful. Here we go. Oh, street justice. Forget about it. Pryce came in with a plan and executed it to the best of his ability. And on multiple occasions, it looked like he may have been able to knock B.A. Tatum off his pedestal. But it wasn't to be. The last Street Fighter continuing on his winning ways and extinguishing the flame of the brash Ricky Pryce. B.A. Tatum once again reigning supreme here in Green Mountain Wrestling. This is the one to watch here, folks. When the title comes into play, B.A. Tatum is going to be right there. And thanks so much once again to Martial Arts in Harwick for sponsoring Green Mountain Wrestling action. Always appreciate the support. Don't go anywhere, folks. Plenty more action to come here. Green Mountain Wrestling continues.